Hopefully we don't crash. And welcome, Sketchbook Heroes. Here we are today, taking on those challenges, including technology. So hopefully we don't have any crashes today. We're gonna take on our drawings. We've got quite a few challenges. So or they're puzzles, they're journeys, they're whatever you want to call them. Here they are. We're going to take them on. We're going to start off simple, and we're going to go off a little more challenging. So let me share my screen so you can see what we've got. And we've got these. We're going to start off really simple. Simple but not easy. If it doesn't matter where you're at, I try to simplify. And if you're having trouble, the thing is to ask questions. We try to simplify and check on the challenges. So it might be too simple, too easy, but we will get a little bit more challenging, and we might skip some of these, but we do definitely get a little more challenging as we go on through the night. This one looks like it was AI generated. I'm pretty sure it was. I can kind of tell it is. And this one, I don't think it is, but it might be. Things are getting so really good out there. This one's definitely not AI generated. I think it's a Grinch drawing. And there we go. We'll see which ones we get to. Oh, I did mention Jennifer and this drawing. I don't know if you wanted to post it in the chat if you want me to draw that. This one definitely is not necessary to draw. Norman Rockwell did use photography for his stuff, and you can see him getting a little political here with his work. He was considered an illustrator, not really an artist, but artwork inspired me definitely growing up. And then
I'm sorry, for those who are curious, Franklin Roosevelt did in fact beat Dewey.
Yes, he did. And then it says political questions. Yes, I mean, sometimes, geez, we definitely have gone through a climate of political unease in the last few years. It's been really dividing. But hopefully we can bring everybody together here tonight and other things. We got to think, what do we want? What do we want? And what are we aiming for? And that's a lot of times that really underlies a lot of stuff that we think divides us, but we really can bring stuff together. All right, these letters really interesting, and we got some more dripping of the letters, really creative. Here we go. And this tiger, we might even do that one. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff to choose from. Very, very pretty, very fast stuff. It looks simple, but it's a lot of complex stuff going on here. All right, this one's actually a little better. You can really see the anatomy of the bird a little better. All right, and then we've got something for my sketchbooks.
Yes, I mean, I put in all these pictures, and I don't want to push out all the nice things you have in your book. So that's sort of a blank page to indicate we should do something of yours.
Oh, I have. Here's the squirrel we did last week, and then
neat.
The dog that we were having trouble with. We were having trouble with the dog, not the dog itself, but the computer. We had shutdowns, and we have something in the chat. So let's take a quick look before we get to drawing. The tiger looks easy. I like the tiger. All right, cool. We have some votes for the tiger. Let's see. Let's go back. Yeah, it looks easy. Sometimes it can be deceiving. All right, that's good. I don't know where the tiger went to, but I'll make note of it. We'll get to it. And if you have any other questions, get them in the chat. And we'll get going. All right, we're going to start off with this one. You can tell it's like an oval shape, but we'll see how the circle fits in there. We always want to take a look at what you're trying to draw. Everything's made up of shapes. And then the next level is form. Hopefully, I'll try to get to talk about form. I really don't talk about form too much. But definitely need to talk about form. But you can see the circle, how it fits in here, and how it's stretched out a little bit at the bottom, stretched out at the top, and even a half circle up there. I would probably even say there's another half circle up here about that size. Here we go. Let's move it over. Right in there. You can see that. And then you can have all these other circles in between. And then how it's divided in half here too. We already have that in half that way. And we'll get one more half, so we can get our axis lines. There it is. There we go. We have a circle that's broken into fourths. All right, let's see. We got somebody. I'm gonna mute somebody, or is that me? Nope, they muted themselves. All right, cool. Let's get started. This will be our first one. Share this one in the chat to everyone. Screenshot. There we go. There we go. All right, let's start off with this one. Here we go. All right, welcome. Let's take this on. Here we go. Am I still sharing? Yes. All right, here we go. So we can start off with our circle. Our circle, you can see the circle that's there. The circle, and it's broken down into fourths. Again, if you're new tonight, we'll try to start simple. I am working on putting those drawings together. We need to just practice here. It's all about the practice and sketching. It's before you get to drawing, you got to sketch, and it's all scribbly here. Am I upside down? There we go. There we go. That's it. It's all scribbly. You can start off with scribbles and then build up your drawing from it. All right. Practice your drawing, not your erasing. So I have my circle, my first circle. I'm going to break it in half here. Try to find the center. That's a good way of doing it. Let's use this pencil. Or this one. I like this one a little better. Ticonderoga. It doesn't matter what you use, really. Break this into fourths. But it's a circle. No matter what size the circle is, could be small, could be big. It should have the same height, same width. I can draw that again down here, see, a little smaller. And then we've got, this kind of helps because this helps, it has a center line. And then it actually will pull it out a little bit at the bottom because it does go into an oval. So we're kind of like, almost like getting this and stretching it out. Getting this and stretching it out just slightly, just slightly. And that's seeing that ratio. We're changing the ratio because it was 1-to-1, same height, same width. Now it's a little bit longer. It's a little bit longer. Here we go. That's at the bottom. And then at the top, it does taper a little bit. There's a slight taper. And then it goes around it at the top. Try to keep that symmetrical. That's a challenge when you're first learning to draw, trying to keep things symmetrical. Same on both sides. You kind of have to see the space in here, see the space in there, and that line of symmetry really helps. Try to get that, keep that symmetry. You're kind of looking at the middle, looking at the distance from the middle out to the sides, and trying to keep that symmetry. And then also trying to keep that, so even though it's simple, it's not easy. Trying to get that circle shape in here. See, look at that circle shape that I kind of sketched in there as a guide. And you can see how it's constructed. You don't have to always do this, but once you see how it's constructed, kind of helps draw it and get a little more accurate. You improve your accuracy in your drawing. You can see that already, and I can actually even press darker once you start off light, and then once it's right, then you can go darker. So I can make it more of a drawing, going dark in there. All right, there it is. Let's see. There's a rounded shape right here, and it does go right above our circle here. That's the head. Let's see, it goes right in there. There's the head, and it's got two little eyes. This really helps. We have our line of symmetry. So we got one right here, about the middle, about that size. Let's try to get it round. And then we got the other one. So watch the distance there, bring it out, right in there, right about there. And you can do some guidelines. Nothing says you can really do some guidelines. That really helps, especially when you start doing more complex drawings of people's faces. You know, little guidelines like this helps. Line your eyes up. See, just horizontal lines. Angles, angles, angles. There we go. And then right up here, there's one antenna. And then on this side, there's another antenna. I already marked them there. That kind of helps just get it started. See, just two little lines. And then I can actually even see, I can even put the dot where the antenna is going to end. Get that as well. Another guideline. See, I'm doing my little guidelines. Hey, my phone is on. Another little dot right there for the antenna. Noticing the spacing. And then I can just attach the little ball to our spot right there. Just like that. Wait. Notice the distance. There's a lot of things to kind of notice. I kind of skip through. So if you miss it, it doesn't look like it. It's okay. What's important is the process. I don't always describe everything. Sometimes I miss stuff. So don't blame yourself, blame the teacher. But ask questions too, you know, if you're having trouble. Ask questions. All right, so in this top half, we have a circle right in here. right here, a little bit above the center. So I would probably say it's right about there, about right that size right in there. And I'm going to go ahead and that's our first little circle there for this ladybug. Oh, I should show you the ladybug. Actually, I didn't put this picture up, but the week before, actually, I was working with a student of mine, and she's got Down syndrome, and I had her doing ladybugs, and we created an animation. I will share that animation in a second. All right, so we've got our one circle there, go all the way to this other side, and get that other circle, and do some guidelines if you need to. Put those guidelines in there. And that really helps. Little guidelines, especially when you're starting. And tracing is okay too. Sometimes you need to trace, and tracing is okay. What's important is to produce, to create, to make, and then to know what you're focusing on. If you're focusing on shapes, you can focus on shapes. Then the next thing to focus on is form, then value, how light and how dark things are. Get those values, check those values. And storytelling all through the while. We can actually add something here to make a story. You can actually here, I can actually put a little baby ladybug here. We already have a story. Once you have more than one item, you know, hey, we're starting a little relationship here. And I can put a lot more little ladybugs. We have mama bug and all the little ladybugs. Although I think the ladybugs are yeah, male. And the one with the dots. Colorful one's interesting in nature, how that happens. It's not me. There we go. Oh, just muted. All right, and then we've got the other circles. Trying to get them to fit and see how big things are. I don't know. I think my circles need to be a little bit bigger, but I don't know. I think I like them where they're at, so I'm just going to keep them. Trying to keep this puzzle, getting all the parts to fit just right, and where everything kind of goes. Then we've got the legs. We've got one leg up here. I can sketch it in lightly. I'm going to sketch them all in lightly, and then draw them in. All right. Lovely is a group of ladybugs. Maybe I'll zoom out again. There we go. So I'm going to just put them in lightly. There is one. Yeah, put them in light. You build your confidence like you build your drawing. You know, so when you're first doing stuff, we're afraid to make mistakes. That's what will hold you back. It's okay. Mistakes are okay. Mistakes are the stepping stones to success. Get the drawings out. That's most of the battle. The battling yourself, battling the perfectionism, battling, you know, the compared to despair, the paralyzing perfectionism. It's like, oh, it's not perfect. It's okay. It's not perfect. What's important is practice, process. That's what's important. How did we do this? We're looking at shapes, and the more you practice, the better you'll get. That's what's important. That you're out here battling these monsters, these as a sketchbook hero, sketchbook warrior. All right, here we go. There we go. I think we can just go ahead and start adding, yeah. Going darker, a little bit thicker too. There's a thickness to these lines. Students always miss the thickness of the line. These lines are pretty thick. So if you go back in there, I'm not going to do them all, but because it just takes too long. But take your time, really observe. What do you see? What do you see? Look around you. What do you see? Everything's made up of shapes, even form. Form is the next level. Form is next level. And then perspective, that's another level. Somebody's doing perspective tonight. They were sharing their drawings. Fun stuff, taking on those challenges. And then you know, studying. Wow, perspective is a long-term thing. We've covered it a few times. You just gotta do it. Take on, sometimes it's I'm not gonna lie. Somebody says that. So yeah,
whoever did the Spider-Man climbing the buildings,
yeah,
made me think that, you remember that I guess Eicher drawing I put in that I was just kidding about?
yes, MC
And
Escher.
once I saw Escher, thank
Yes.
you. Once I saw the Spider-Man, I thought, hey, maybe we really could do that Escher one I was just joking about.
It is doable. It is doable. It just takes time. It just takes time. It just takes time. It is very doable. That's definitely more intermediate advanced, definitely more advanced. I don't yeah, because we'd lose people, I think, if we go takes too you know, we have to find the right balance. But yeah, that's doable. No, we're gonna bring those hardcore heroes. And we're just so much to draw. We're like, I feel like we're behind on our drawings. There's all the lighthouses that we still need to do. And all right, find that center line, get that dark. I just jumped from one sentence to another. But yeah, we have, there's just a lot to draw. So much. And just
Do you have
doing it.
lighthouses down there for you, Claudia? We have lots up here.
Yeah, we have there's some lighthouses. There's one out actually, I think out in Palos Verdes. Yeah, Palos Verdes. I think there was one. But yeah, and I don't really not too many out here though. I
Point
think
Furman. There's
oh,
one at Point Furman.
Point Furman.
There's one in Long Beach.
Long Beach. Yes. San Pedro. I think there's little ones, like little lights. Definitely don't want the boats to crash. All right, there's our first drawing of the night. Welcome. Let's get to our second one and start cranking it. We're going to start picking up the speed and picking up the pace and picking up the drawings. There we go. That's a nice one. This is an oval shape. Now we definitely got to see the ratio. It's definitely not, well, the whole thing, there's a circle in there. Let's get that circle in there first. Slight oval to it, actually. It's not a perfect circle. Let's see how bit closer we can get to it in there. Let's see, move it over. There it is. I feel it stretches out just a little bit instead of a circle. And then we've got the oval, but the oval's at an angle. So I can't really do that with this program, but it would be something like that. But what is good though is seeing the ratio. So let's do the ratio. And the ratio is the height compared to the width. So let's see if we can get that. So here's the width. I can do that easily. Oh, and the width is just at the widest point right in there. I probably could have gotten it somewhere else. That's about right. There's a 1, and I can see it's about 3 wide. See, so there's 2 circles on the side. You can see this, the width here. There's 1, and then over here. See, that's our ratio. Our ratio is 1 to 3 for the oval, and that's going to help us with our accuracy, because that's the biggest thing. Trying to get accurate with what we see. Ooh, and look at that bow in there. That bow is about that same size as that circle. I'll cut around in there, and definitely cut in there as far as the size, and the bottom half of it too. Maybe a little bit smaller, but right about there. I like that. Let's should I put this somewhere? We'll just put it right down here, I guess. Right there. All right, let's screenshot that. Let's do this one real quick. We're picking up the speed here. Thank you for joining us tonight. Take it at your own pace. If you need to pick up the draw other stuff, practice your lines, practice other stuff. What's important is the process. Here we go. Let's see. Where's my chat? There it is. I lost it. All right, here, screenshot this hat. Lovely hat from the clip art gallery. And here we go. Post it. Let's do this. All right. Oh, there we go. My full screen. All right, here we go. Oh, I didn't, I forgot the angle. There's a slight angle to it. There's a slight angle. So try to get that slight angle. Even if you do it straight across, that's okay. There's a slight angle. And this is the A in wrap. So we have ratios, which is the height compared to the width. And then we have the angles, and this is a slight angle. Again, angles only vertical, horizontal, and everything in between. But angles can get really complex, so much so you go into perspective. Perspective, that's all perspective is. Perspective, like buildings and all that stuff, is just angles and understanding angles and how it goes to a vanishing point and stuff like that. But yeah, angles can, and ratios, right? So we have a third wheel over here. Here's our third circle. Here's another circle. I think I'm getting a little bit smaller, but they should be about the same size. This is just to get the ratio, right? And then we have that coming out this way. So it's an oval, this oval or ellipse that kind of goes in there. See, that's the ratio. It's 3 times as wide as it is tall. So I'm getting that, and there's a slight angle to it. Even though it's simple, even though these are simple concepts, but if you understand them, you can take it to more complex drawings. But it's, you know, breaking it down to that, breaking it down to ratios, angles, proportions, placement, practice, patience, persistence, all on our website eventually. All right, so we are taking a break, not next week, but the week after that. We are taking a break, being out that week. All right, so I am going to take this circle. I think was it that size up here? I'm just bringing it up. I think I'm trying to see how it fits in there. Oh, let me look. Oh, no, it was a bigger circle. Yeah, let's see. It was probably a big circle like that. That does bring it a little bit wider. What's really interesting about this is the line quality. And how they're using the thickness and thinness of line really guide this clip art, really guides your eye through it. And you can see it go from thick to thin, the lines. I'll try to get those as after I do the drawing. And it was probably done, yeah, 99.999% sure this was done on a computer. So don't compare to despair. You know, like, oh, it doesn't look like that. Well, it was done with a computer, but, you know, you do have to take ownership a little bit, doing, oh, I did my best. I did, you know. All right. So here we go. This is, speaking of form, this is a dome or a sphere, and it's cut into this piece in here that's down in here. So there's actually another ellipse that's in here, the bottom part of this sphere. It's like you're getting a ball and you're cutting it in half, the sphere. And I kind of, I'm going to sketch it in here. I'm going to sketch in the bow where it's kind of go. The bow's kind of going to go in here. I'm looking at how it fits, the big shape. I'm not worried about the detail. I'm worried about the big shape there and how far it comes out down here. The bow, it's going to come out to here somewhere, but I'm seeing kind of like this in here. It was really similar to that. There and there and there and there. See, I'm seeing the bigness of it. And then I can actually see right there the little center of that bow right in there. That's probably about that big right in there. Probably maybe a little bit lower. And I went really dark with that line, but that's okay. All right, so yeah, why don't we start with that? All right. Oof. All right, so if you can get that, that's great. I'll leave that on for a second because that's a lot I kind of went through. If you have questions, put it in the chat. It's a really nice hat. Really cool. The thickness of the line gets thicker out here. Really nice study of line and how the artist is using line, how it's going from thick to thin in some areas. And then the bow, the whole bow right here is a whole other interesting twist to say the least. All right, so we're going to stick with that bow. Let's do that bow in there. So I kind of see where the bow's going to fit. So that's really good. Sometimes we just, you know, we don't see the big picture, how everything's going to fit. And then we just break it into parts. So here we go. Let's get that bow in there. All right, so the bow, I see where my centerpiece is, and same height, same width. Looks like it's almost it's probably a little bit wider, just slightly wider, but it's got this shape, which has it's a rounded square. See, that top is rounded, and then it tapers in, so it has a little bit of a triangle in it, and then it tapers at the bottom. It not tapers, but it curves. Let's say, so there, I just did it right on top, darker. And it's not that dark, but it's okay. All right, so I know we're going to put one bow or ribbon on this side. And I'm just putting that in, one there. These are, and then another one right about here. Another one over here, right in there. And it actually gets lost in there, which is really interesting. It gets lost. The artist knows, you know, to simplify. So they're getting rid of some of these lines, but you're losing some of the structure. If you don't understand the structure, then it makes it a lot more, looks complex, but it's the structure's there. Here we go. These like triangular shapes that are kind of coming out. And there's curves to them. And then the ribbon, the ribbon kind of comes down and a little bit of a curve and out right in there. These little ribbons that kind of come out. Oops. Something like that. I'm losing it a little bit. There we go. That's good. On that side, this side curves in a little bit more. There's a little bit more of a curve, but it fits right in here, right under the hat, right under that brim of that hat, right in there, right in this area, right in there. So I'm getting that flow. There we go. I like that. All right, there we go. All right, let's do this. So the same thing as this oval that's happening is happening here. It's really similar. What's happening? It's kind of like a circle that's in space. So you have this oval that's right in here, and then there's a thickness to it, and you can see that thickness to that ribbon. It gives it a thickness to it, kind of like right in there. Let's zoom in a little more, so you can see what I'm doing. There's a thickness to that ribbon right in there. And then it pulls in and then goes out. See, it pulls in and goes out. And all my sketching looks like shading now because I'm going darker now. I'm pushing my pencil a little darker. And then see, getting that form, getting the feel of this is the interesting part. And that just comes with practice. And here we have some overlapping or underlapping. This other ribbon goes underneath, but it's the same thing as that first ribbon here. This little, it kind of comes out and then it curves back. Oh, curves back under. Just broke my lead. Pushed a little too hard. And there's a thickness to it. There's a little bit of a thickness to the tops. Okay. And then here it curves in, you can push it in and then out. And then back in, back up there. There we go. There we have one side done. Let's do the other side. Same thing. Start from the top. It curves out and curves in. And then there's a thickness to this as well, especially right out here, right out here. And if you look at it carefully, you can see it how it's thicker and then it gets thinner. It's really thick right here at the end. And then it thins out on both sides. Thins out a little bit thinner to the back end and a little bit thinner in the front, but not as thin as the back end. All right, there we go. I'm going to push this in, push this out. See, there's a little bit of a curve there. Not the straight triangle. That triangle was there just to help me get it started. There's that one. Then here we go. Same thing as the left side. This one just curves out, it curves in. It's kind of attaching itself. This part of that ellipse right in there, and pushes in, and then curves up. This bottom part is parallel to this curve here. This is where students always had trouble. We've done ribbons, and it's a fun exercise. There's a lot. Look for ribbon drawings, drawing ribbons. This is a really fun thing to do. Challenging at first, but you know that's the fun part. You know, if it were easy, everybody would be doing it. But getting the thickness of it, getting all that stuff. Ribbons are fun. We've done them before. I can say, hey, it's this lesson number, but we don't have that yet, which is kind of frustrating, actually. I'm kind of starting to get like, all right, we need to, that's why we're back to just one night a week, because I really want to get that going, get other stuff going, but we're working on settling it and putting it together. So, and working on other projects. I'm taking on too many projects. I've got this other, I'll show you projects going. All right, there's that. These lines aren't as thick, but I'm doing it thick right now for some reason. I'm just getting them in there. These lines. Yeah, because the thickness is really here at the top of the bow. Here's the ribbon, the way it just comes down, curves out. Yeah, what makes ribbons really interesting is that you have to keep an eye out on one line as you draw the other, so it kind of flows. And as the lines go out, you know, they taper out, they get wider, then they get in and then out. These are shapes are fun to draw. Once you kind of like, oh, at first it's kind of hard, but then you start like getting that flow, right? Getting the shape to flow, the thickness of it, because you're not just drawing a line, you're drawing a shape, and you can see that shape as it gets thicker, as it gets down. You know, it starts off thin. Notice how it gets wider as it comes down here, as I'm drawing it here, and then here, even these little parts of that ribbon kind of taper as they go in here. See, they taper right in there, right in there, right up in there. Here we go. Voila, we're almost there. And then we got our ribbon. I think our ribbon, is that what it's called? You say something over and over and it doesn't sound right. A bow, that's what it was, bow.
Yeah, it's a ribbon tied into a bow.
Hey.
Gorgeously drawn by Eladio. I
Oh,
find ribbons and bows very hard to draw.
yeah. Yeah, and that's where your challenge should be. You got to see, okay, that's my challenge, right? I'm like, all right, this is where I'm having trouble. And especially if you like what they look like, you look it up, go on the internet, look for bows, and take on that challenge. Thomas, hello. All right, shout out there. All right, there we go. Let's finish this up. We're almost done with this one. Almost done with this little hat. All right, here we go. See you tomorrow. All right, here we go. So this bow goes onto the sphere up here. Again, that's a ball. And that's a little more advanced. And you have to kind of look for them and learn how to draw them, you know, to really get that feel of solidness. But that just comes with time and being patient. Everybody wants to draw like today, but it takes time and observing and practice. All right, notice the thickness of the line. These lines are really thick here. They're really thick, and then it goes thin to the top. On this side, it's thick, and then it goes thin at the top. And we have our, oh, I wanted to show that. I'll show my my ladybug out there, since we're drawing ladybugs tonight. My student from, well, actually we did it maybe 2 weeks ago. All right, so notice the thickness of line, how it gets thick right in here. That's another thing too, just like we did with this bow, how it gets thinner. Here, noticing the line, the thickness of the line, how it's really thick, and then it gets thinner as it comes out. This adds to that clip art. What else in here? And right in here in front, because it's closer to us, this line is really thick right in here, right in here. Make sure it's on line. This line right here is really thick, and it's behind. It's how artists create space, overlapping. It's behind the bow, right in there. Bring that out and over. See, it's really thick, and it's going behind the bow. Then it comes, as it comes back up here, it stays thick to, it thins out a little bit, and then it thins out more back here, but it's really thick right in here. Notice that thickness of that line. And that actually makes it look more professional, getting that thickness of that line. It's more than just now it's more than just a sketch. That's more of a drawing now. We're working on the quality. All right, I hear that thickness there as it comes back up in here and gets thin, and then thick again. It's a little bit thick right there. It comes down, gets thin. It's coming around. There we go. That's it. All right, let's try to get an easy one out here, because I know we've got special people in the audience. Let's see. My daughter says, "Oh, Martha, okay, you dad." Yeah. All right, here we go. Oh, let's show that. Let's show that. Let me show my that, and And while you wrap that up, I'm going to show you my ladybug. Actually, I can show you the animation I've been working on. Oh man, we had a company today. My granddaughter was here, so it didn't get much of my other work done. So I was kind of, we'll see. Here we go. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, this is the work I'm actually working on. I'll play this real quick. It's for a video. There we go. Let's see. This is done with a computer program. So that car moving, everything. That's my reference material. Anyways, let's move that out of the way. And what I did want to show you is this. This is what I want to show you. Here we go. Ladybugs. So we used a program. This is called Stop Motion Studio. And it's just by taking pictures. You can see, here we go. Let's play it real quick. Ah, there it is. You can see there's our ladybugs. They should be moving. Oh, there they are. They're moving. And it's just about, how many frames is that? There's 12 frames in a second. There's only 16 frames here. So it's probably just like a second of time, which is really not a lot of time. But you can see them moving. That was it. All right. All right, off to the next drawing. Let's try to get a simple one. One last simple one before we move on to the harder ones. All right. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Share my screen. Let's see. I think, oh, we have that truck. That truck's looked good. And that one, that car. Oh, we'll draw this one. I think so. We'll draw that one next. Plain and simple. And then this one's really a lot more complex. We might skip that one.
The hat was pretty in pink.
Ah, pretty in pink. You have
Yeah.
what? Do you have what from Pretty in Pink?
It's a very classy headwear.
Ah. All right, so let's see, we're gonna do this. We're gonna jump to we're gonna do the car real quick, and then we're gonna jump to I think we're gonna jump to the aliens. I think we jump to the aliens. Aliens actually what makes this look really hard is all the texture and the shading and all that stuff, but it's really a simple drawing. This is really a simple drawing. But you know, this is all, it has a lot of what I call the icing. So using the color and the shading and all this stuff that makes it look very real. But the drawing, drawing is really simple. It's a really simple drawing. And all the shading is what makes it look like very real. But the drawing itself is simple. So we'll jump to that one after, and then maybe we'll see if we get to the dog or these. I think we'll skip those. We'll do this one first. All right, so let's do this car. Here we go. Stuff in the chat. The aliens. Yeah, we are going to do the aliens. All right. Yeah, we'll do the aliens. We'll do the car, and then we'll do the aliens. So let's do the car real quick. So I'm gonna speed up. So see if you can stay. All right. So again, we try to see the biggest shapes. The biggest square we have is probably right in there. It's so that's right about there. Probably another square right in here. And I don't know which square we're going to use, but look at that square right in there. That's really a square. You see, we're looking at that square, and we can use that square to see the relationships. What are the relationships? All right, so we have that square because it's the same height, same width. And this one, if we put this square, is bigger than, there we go. Ooh, there's one square right here. We'll use this as our main square because here you can see this come out at an angle. So there's one square, 1, 2. Ooh, look at this right in there. 2, 3, and some triangles. So it's 3 squares and some triangles. So let's use that. And then you see this big square right in there. But let's get the triangles in there so you can see what I'm talking about. These triangles that are right about in here. See these triangles? There's that triangle there. Let's get some more squares in there. And then we'll go ahead and draw this. All right, so let's get all these squares to be the same size. So you can see there's a square right here, exactly the same size. Let's move it over. 1, 2, 3. Looking for these relationships is what we're looking for. See? I've been looking for one and I found one. I'm happy. Finding the relationships is really important because then you can blow things out of proportion. You can get things wrong and not even know why. It's like, wait a minute, something's wrong here. It doesn't fit. There's our 3 squares, and ooh, that brings us to there. That's there. We can imagine that. There we go. Here, see, we can go up here. And this is probably, I don't know, I wouldn't say how tall that is from that there, but then we've got this other angle here. Look at that angle. There's little curves in it, but look at, if you can see this angle first, that's more important. Don't let those little curves in there confuse you. There's like little curves in there, but if you get that angle, look at that straight line. And then in here too, look at that. That's a straight line right in there. Sometimes I imagine the lines continuing on and on. And these lines curve, but yeah, that should help. That should help. Oh, let's do some other lines here. Let's just these guidelines. You can see here the half of this square right in there. Look at that. That half of that square where those little where that was, that's where the top of that tire goes. See right in there, half of that square. So we'll use that as an axis line. Let's see if we can find some more relationships. See here's let's bring this up. Let's see if that is true. That's the middle. Ooh, look at that right in there. So about the half size up here, that's, and then plus some. So if we go up, that's plus a square. I know what I'm talking about. I'll try to describe it when I get there. All right, let's do this card. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm going to go a little faster, so try to stay up. If you want to start ahead of me, that's fine. You don't have to, you know, just go at your own pace. I try to keep everybody together, but we do pick up this pace, pick up the speed. Let's snapshot it. Put it in the chat. Oh man, our computer shut down like 4 times last week. Hoping it doesn't happen. I shut down a lot of windows and stuff. All right, let's do this. We're starting off with the squares. All it is 3 squares. All it is 3 squares. If you want to turn your paper sideways, that'll actually fit more. You can draw it bigger. So you got 3 squares. You can start with the one in the middle if you want to. All 3 squares are the same height, same width. So get that square, same height, same width. So you can measure it. You can use your pencil. There's that. I'm using this other pencil now. And then there it is, 1 to 1. Our ratio is 1 to 1. Same height, same width. That makes a square special. It's the same height, same width. Square is a perfect square. Because then once you start bringing it out, it's not a square anymore. People say it's, oh, this is a square. No, it's a rectangle. It's a rectangle now. We're putting 2 squares together, making a rectangle. And if you don't watch your squares, you're going to make a wreck. Your car is going to get into a crash. License and registration. We saw a car. I don't know what happened. Bumped into a Tesla. I think he was backing up. But yeah, I got to be careful out there. All right, so I got my 2 squares. They're the same height, same width. They should be, this is where we're comparing. Don't compare to despair. Try to compare here. Right? This is where the comparing really you're using your higher level thinking skills. Compare and contrast. How's it the same? How's it different? You know, is it the same? We're making 2 squares. Now we're going to make 3 squares here. How's it the same? How's it different? It should be, you know, you can actually use your measurements, use your pencil, bring it over right out there. I'm eyeballing it. The more you practice, the better you'll get at doing that. I'm eyeballing our 3 squares. There we go. Then we're going to cut these squares in half because that's going to help us. So find the center here. After you get your 3 squares, find the center, cut them all in half right there. Bang. Look at that. Cut all the squares in half. And then we're going to bring that half up. See the same height all the way up here. See that same height. We're going to bring this up now. Try to get that same height. You can eyeball it or you can measure it. If you're unsure, measure it. It's okay. You'll get better and measure it. You see, that's right there. And you can eyeball it like I do. That's it. And this is our car is going to fit right in here. See 3 squares, and those are the ratios. Those are the ratios. All right, let's get our angle. So we got our 3 squares, our 2 extra halves up on top, and then our angle here. Watch that angle. This is where angles are really important. It kind of comes out at that angle there. And then we got our circle that's going to be in here. I know that circle is going to be right in there, that tire. It's going to fit right in there. And then back here too, our tire is going to fit back here. And then up here, there's a bit of space on the back. So here, it just goes right off of this corner. And at that angle right there, that's the front of the car. And then back here, there's a little bit of space. a little bit of space, and then it comes out because it is wider back here, but this angle is what's important. Just getting that angle. Don't worry about the curves. Don't let the curves confuse you. What's more important is that angle there. And then getting our, let's get our, you see right in there. Then you can see how this kind of comes out on this side, curves around that circle I kind of just sketched in there. And it comes down to this bottom part right in here. And this back part just curves right onto that. Look at that. Boom. Notice that thickness in here. This part right in here, this angle, and then this, the way this curves, it's like, whoa. Once you get that feel in there, is this too thin, too thick? That's the ratio in here. Does it feel right in here, right? This back part, this tail part. If it's too thin, we'll make it thicker. If it's too, that's what people have trouble with, is the ratios. That's where I came up with wrap. I came up with, they're having trouble with the ratios. Is it too thin? Is it too wide? Right, so at that angle. And if I move it, I can probably put my, well, let's see, it's all right. I try to get that little curve in there. I won't worry about the curve, but there is like a little bit of a bump. And you can add on here if you want to add that little bit of a bump as it pushes in. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's do this. All right, so over here it does. All right, let's start from the front and we'll go to the back. So start from the front. Let's get this going. Start from the front and then go all the way to the back. All right, so there's several things going on here, even though we have this at this angle. Let's get that wheel in here. Let's get that wheel in there. All right, so we got that wheel. Actually, it's the wheel goes just right below our center, because that's what that really helps get that placement. Then it comes out, and then the wheel is going to go inside this part right in here. It comes down. And if you need to trace something or get a circle, this is a pretty big circle. You can find something to trace if you need to, or try to get that circle to be in there, right in here where that circle kind of goes, that tire. That tire kind of goes in here. Get it to fit. And this spacing in here too. I'm trying to get that tire to be in here. But right in here, right below that middle part. Good thing to do too is get that axis lines. Okay, so here's my center. I'm going to get my axis lines first. So here's my axis line here, and then we'll use it above the middle here, above this bottom line. It's above a little bit. If I get my axis lines, that kind of helps a little bit, getting that circle in here. There we go. Try to make it as round as possible. And like you have pizza here, we're putting in a pizza in here. You can see each slice. There's one slice. Here's another slice. Right, and then here's another slice. Try to get each slice to be the same height, same width. And there's our circle, and then we can actually, use that measurement and bring that over here, back over there for that other wheel. There's our circle. It's a perfect circle. We can draw it bigger or smaller. And it's simple. There's no there's no hubcap or anything. It's all just shaded in. We can just shade it in. Get rid of all of our little guidelines that we use to help us. Look at that right there. Bang. All right, now here's the hard part. Here's the hard part. Let's zoom in. All right, making circles is tough, but having the little guidelines helps. All right, let's zoom in. This whole front part of the car is probably the hardest part of the drawing. All right, so there's several parts. There's the right at the front. Let me zoom in. There we go. So actually, it's kind of like curves. It curves down. Curves down. Then it goes out a little bit. Right there, there's a little bit of a bump. And then it curves out. But it's still on that angle. See, it's still on that angle. Curves out a little bit. Comes in. Oh, I think I might be going too far out. That's okay. And then curves in. Yeah, this is thicker. See, I'm having ratio problems, but that's okay. I'm making mine thicker. This part is thicker than it is. And that's okay. I can see it. I'm having ratio trouble. That's okay. The thickness of mine. And that's okay, doesn't, you know, that's that fight we're having. Always trying to make it perfect. It's okay if it's not perfect. Nobody's going to know. If I really wanted to, I can go back in there and erase it and fix it, but that's going to take too long. You want to practice your drawing, not your erasing. Mistakes are okay. Mistakes are the stepping stones to success. There we go. See it? See the little bumps? That's what's more important, getting these little bumps in here. See that bump in there, that bump in there. And it's hard to draw and talk at the same time. It's not easy. I'm not trying to play the blame game. People do that. But you just take ownership. I did the best I could, right? Things happen. Do your best. Do your best till you know better. And then when you know better, you'll do better. All right, here we go. Maya Angelou. There's a slight angle to this here. There is a slight angle. It does come up slightly as it goes up. There is a slight uptick. Yeah, it does. And actually does go above our line below. There's a slight angle up right in there. Oh, that part. So there's our front of our car. It's done. Then here it comes in, it comes down this part. And mine's not parallel here too. I can bring this in if I really wanted to. Actually, I'm going to, because I can. Notice how I can fix that because it's parallel in here. See this white space, the negative space. It helps right in there as it comes in and there. Oh, there it is. Whoop. All right, we're gonna draw aliens next. So hold on. If you don't like cars, if you don't like aliens, sometimes we got to draw what we don't like. Sometimes we have to do things we don't like. You know, can't always do things you like. But that's the thing. I like drawing, so it helps when you like stuff. It's like, oh, I like this, I like that, and then it helps. Oh, I want to draw that because you like it. And then you have to, when you draw stuff and you don't like, that's when you know, oh, I like drawing. I can draw anything, even if I don't like it. All right, there's my front of my car. I like it. We'll go on. All right, so let's go to the middle part, or actually the back half. So there's our front of our car. Let's go to the middle part, right in there. Bring that down. I should probably zoom out a little bit. All right. So here's the roof part of the car. Does go actually it goes below. Yeah, it goes down. So it's not quite the third. It does kind of come down. There's a slight angle to the back half, and then it comes down right in here, down to there. Actually, our back line that we already have back here, right in there. Oh, this little, and it's really slight angles. I'm kind of exaggerating maybe a little bit, but it's just a slight angle. They're almost parallel. See, it's just a really slight angle. Notice it in these angles, just really slight. That's the top of the car right there. Oh. And then it actually goes inside. I'm going right, it goes inside our triangle. So I'm going to curve it before it hits it and then come down at this other angle right there. There's a slight angle before it hits this line. There we go. There's the front of the windshield right up there. If you need to adjust, so yeah, here I can adjust things. You got to use your judgment. You got to use your judgment. Is it looking too wide? Is it looking too... And sometimes you don't see it. It's like, oh, it doesn't look right. And that's okay. You'll get it. You'll get it. Just be patient, persistent, and draw for fun. Sometimes it'll look like a hearse, or maybe it look like a bus. Your ratios will be long if it's too long. But that's okay. Just say, all right, next time. I'm having trouble with my ratios. That's okay. It's okay. You'll get it. Just takes practice, you know. All right. Here we go. All right, so there's a thickness here to the top of this. Watch this thickness. I'm just really actually more worried about that thickness of those windows up in here. That's what I'm trying to get. See, I'm not making those too thin. Really looking at those ratios today. The thickness of these shapes, that thickness right in there. And then behind our center line, this line right here, this line, behind that one right here is where this other, the window, right? And then here, watch this thickness here. Oh, well, the center. And then on the front part of this window, right in there. And it's going parallel too. So watch that thickness right in here. See this thickness, this width right in here. Notice that width. Is it too thin? Is it too thick? That's where you need to watch out. And then look at this window right in here. It does drop below our line a little bit. It does drop below our squares slightly. It does drop below our square lines. Right in here, close it up. Here's a rectangle. It's not a square. It is a rec. I'm probably in it. I'm looking at it right now. It looks longer than it needs to be. Probably the ratio is probably needs to go up a little bit higher. I'm looking at the height and the width of the window, and adjust yours if you need to. I can probably bring this in and widen it up a little bit. That's okay. We have this window, our back window right in there. There is a slight downward as well to it. Then in here it cuts in. And you can draw this any size. After tonight, too, you don't have to just draw it once. Don't be one and done. Oh, my students would do that. One and done. I'm done. I'm finished, mister. You know, you can feel free to draw it again. The more you practice, the more you'll progress. You got to draw it not just once. And that's how you actually even build your memory, too. Like, okay, I remember doing this car. 3 squares. 3 squares. 3 square car. And then you can do it from memory. You start building your memory and start drawing from your imagination. The greatest nation. Right in there. There we go. There's that back window. All right, here we go. Let's get that bottom of that car. See, there's a little bit of a lip right in here. That mud flap or whatever that is. It comes back up and then it goes straight. I think, let's see. Let's see. I think it goes straight across. All right, the aliens. The aliens are coming. All right, let's see. Ooh, before I actually do this bottom line, because it just goes pretty much straight. I don't want to, I want to get this other, because these 2 wheels should be the same. I already have my first wheel. We got to, you know, make that other wheel. So we're going to take that measurement. You can use your pencil. You can use another sheet of paper. You can get this sheet, see that height right in there. Boom. There we go. See, bring that over. Use guidelines too. You can use the guidelines. It's going to be a little bit below, right in there. See, I'm using a guideline. It should fit right in there. I already have it. I can do my X, my axis line. That'll be it right there. See, I'm using that. It's going to be right there. There's the height. I can use that. Ooh, I can fold it to find the middle. See all these little tricks? There you go. Sometimes it's just knowing the trick, knowing the magic. Then you can do the trick too, right? I love magic. Oh, let's find the center. I turned it over. So here's that'll see, I fold this paper. This will help us find the middle. Right in there. There's that middle, the magic middle. And then bring it over. And then use that middle again for that tire. And here's our axis line with accurate width and height and width. Ooh, I might have to move it over or move that over. I'm going to move it over. See, before I even draw my circle, I know I'm going to have to move this over, move my center over. So we'll move that over. It's going to be this high and that wide right in there. See, we just, before we even made that mistake. Do the pieces of pizza. There's a slice right in there. And now I'm moving it over. Let's get it a little bit higher. There's 1 slice. Bring this over. I'm moving it over just a little bit. Here's the other slice of pizza. 4 slices off. These are big slices. Usually have it sliced in half again. That's 4 slices. And if I have it sliced again, that's 8 slices. Fractions. Oh, that's fractions. If they would have taught me fractions with pizza, I would have learned fractions like, whoo. All right, class, today we're learning fractions. We're going to have pizza. Fun, fun. All right, I'll learn my math. Fractions, everybody complains. Oh, yeah, they can be tough. But it's just parts and whole. That's all it is. You're cutting things up. You're into fractions, into parts. All right. There's our parts. We have 4 slices. Now we have 8. If you can get that, that actually even helps too. Getting that, seeing the 8, putting that X in there. My little X man. There it is. There it is. Now we can just shade it in, lose our guidelines. All our little guidelines that we used for helping. They're there. They were just there for help. Shade it all in. Let's finish this car. We're just about done. Get to that alien. Look, Buzz, an alien. Stranger from the outside. There we go. Stranger inside. Here we go. All right, so just finish this up. This goes straight. We have a little bit of curve, that little mud flap that's there, and then we've got it just goes straight back. Josh, your mic is on.
I was just asking, have you seen the movie Alien?
Oh yeah, it's scary. Ooh,
Yeah, it's very sci-fi and horrifying.
yeah. Now here's a trick. I'm using my pinky and I'm putting.
Love you. Have a good class.
All right, love you. And then I'm using my pinky here and my pencil. See, I can make these straight lines. Notice how straight that line is. It's because I'm using my pinky against the edge of my paper, and I know I have a lot of paper, but you know, I'm using that to make that bottom part of my car. There we go. Now shading the whole car in, that's a good practice, just to shade in, but we'll leave that for another time. You can shade it on your own, color it in, use some paint, but that just takes time. See, that's just the icing on the cake. We don't worry about that. But it's a good practice when you get to your shading, get different values, lights and darks. You see, I can go darker. So even though I shaded it already, I can get a different value. Value is more important than color. And there we go. Let's get to the alien. All right. Any other questions? Throw them in the chat. Here we go. Let's get to the alien. Share my screen. There we go. Alien time. Look, Buzz, an alien. This is a nice look. There's that oval again. But you see, they're only doing part of it. And here's that oval again. And it continues, but they're only doing part of it. All right. This comes from the clip art. I'll skip that one though. I like that. You can see the form actually. This has a really nice solid form. It's like a, you know, ball of clay that's was kind of rolled out. Here's some more interesting dog. Yeah, this is AI. Aliens. All right, here we go. Let's draw this one. All right, so pretty simple shapes, but the shading and the everything else is what makes it more complex. But look, it's just a circle and a triangle, right? So here's our circle. There's the circle. Probably, yeah, maybe a little bigger. Right in there. Oh, he left. I wanted him to take something. All right, there's the circle. That's it. Notice I'm trying to get it to fit. The cheeks in here, there's shading in there that brings that in, but it's still that circle shape. And look at the eyes in that bottom half. See, here's that middle. I'm going to use my line shapes now. Right in here, right there. Bam. There's the middle there. And here's the middle here. Here's my axis line. And then here's this. There's curves, but I mean, it really is just kind of comes down to a triangle. It does push in and then pushes out. I mean, these slight curves in here make it interesting. Right there. Bam, look at that. I think that's a 45-degree angle. And notice how it attaches itself to the circle. All right, that's it. And notice these angles here too. This is the almond shape. The inside part of the eye to the outside part of the eye. That part to that part. And the way it curves onto there. Yeah, that's it. This is important, this almond shape. Notice how the top is a little bit wider and the bottom is a little bit not so wide. I'm getting really technical here, so don't let that, just do the best you can. You don't have to, you know, get it that exact, but I'm just showing you how to, you know, shoot for accuracy. All right, let's get this alien. I think, yeah, his shoulders are slight angle. And that adds interest to it, so it's not so symmetrical. See, we got these angles. The trapezium, you can see that angle, and then you can see this angle here too, that other muscle. But this is the major angle. But then there's some minor angle here. That's the trapezium, and then the shoulder. All right, here we go. All right, let's do this. Let's do it. Yeah, exciting, exciting. Let's draw this. Ooh, we lost some people. It's all good. All right. We had 50 people sign up. All right. We'll see you next week. And then if you leave, yeah, feel free to come and go anytime you'd like. All right, here we go. What time is it? 7:46. There we go. There's our alien. All right. Look, Buzz, an alien. All right. So here we go. Let's do this. Start off with our circle. Sketch it in. All righty. Let's move our stuff around here. There we go. Clean up my window here. Got a lot of stuff happening. There he is. Ooh. Ah, stop sharing. There we go. That's better. All right, so here we go. Let's start off with our circle. Circle, practice your circles. This is a good practice too. Just practice drawing your circles. Because look at that, they show up so much. You got to practice drawing these circles. There's my circle. Look at, that's a good practice, just going over and over. Get that circle in there. And that's how you get that good. See, look at all the mistakes. If you can look at the mistakes, you'll see them. You got to see which one of these circles makes it the best. And then now we can just get that triangle in here like an ice cream shape. See, it comes in. Find that center as well, that middle. Oh, that'll help. Get your triangle in here as well. I bring that in. Notice the angle. It's just a little triangle that comes off of here. And it should just flow right off of that. It should flow right off of that circle. And it's just a little triangle at the bottom. All right, let's break that circle in half again. See, it's all the shading and all the stuff that really makes it, gives it all the detail. All right, there's a mouth in here. The mouth right there. There's a nose right about in here. Then the eyes fit in this bottom half at this angle. Right in there. And then another one right in here. And you can get this to line up. See that the back needs to line up and the front needs to line up. And so you have this trapezoid kind of shape. See the bottom, see the tops, that gets it to line up. And then we get to draw the eyes. We just need these 2 points. Really just need 2 points to make a line, that point and that point. You also need 2 points to make a curve, which is kind of like, okay, so here we go, the bottom half of this eye. Let's zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about. See, so here's my trapezoid. It's a shape. It's kind of like a triangle. See if I continued it with a triangle with a tip cut off. Parallelogram. No, it's not a parallelogram. Oh, geometry. All right, here we go. So the bottom, it curves out, and I can see it kind of curves out, and then it just kind of comes out right in there. Bam, right in there. The bottom. There's the bottom. And then the top curves out more. Right up in here. Bam, and then down. There we go. And then we have that almond shape. See? It's right in there. There's our eye. There's an eyelid too. There's an eyelid on top and an eyelid below. But we've got the shape there. See? And you see how it lines up right in here? There's the inside part of the eye. Notice the spacing. Here's our center. Should also be the same space. These 2 points need to be the right spot, right? These 2 points, these 4 points. This point and that point, notice the distance. That point and that point, notice the distance. This is going to help get your eyes straight so you're not have one eye, make your alien look like an alien from another planet where their eyes are all crooked. Here's something else that kind of helps too. You kind of imagine this kind of circle shape kind of coming up around, kind of like this bottom of the eye, kind of curving, and then here you see it come curving around. So this bottom part curves up to that, and then the top eye curves up and over, right in there. You see now we've got 2 matching eyes. Ooh, ouch. Aliens. And we'll talk about the shading a little bit. We'll talk about the shading. The drawing is really simple, but there's some really interesting detail in shading. All right, let's get the eyelids. So the eyelids, there is some space, and then it goes up and around. And it's actually around, but it goes wider. And the bottom part too comes up and around. It gets a little wider and then comes back over. Do that on both sides. That's the eyelids. Hear the dog barking. And the bottom eyelid on the left side. I did the right side, or the alien's left side. My right. Get that other eyelid. Oops. It's probably be the hardest part. The eyelid. Get that eyelid. The thickness of that eyelid. Oh, not too thick. There we go. That's good. Need to fix it. Go back in there. Get that other eyelid. All right. All right. All right. All right. The nostrils. The nostrils are little triangle shapes, and there's a lot of blending and stuff that's going on with them, but we'll keep it simple. It's really just like these little triangle shapes that kind of come up and then down. It's this little shape right here, this little triangle shape, boomerang shape. Actually, probably more like a boomerang, but it's a triangle. Same thing on the other side. Notice how big it is and where it fits. And there is some slight shading, like on the nose, and there's all this really slight shading, which makes it more real. Same thing with the mouth. When you go to shade it, it's just a line, but if you look at it carefully, there's reflection underneath it. There's a shadow above it slightly. I mean, all this stuff is like all this really. There's a slight smile to it too. Actually, there's a slight upward turn, very slight upward turn on the lip. But that's all really slight stuff. I'm going to round out the chin a little bit, push it in, push it out, because there are some cheeks in here. And that's all the shading and stuff. That's all the shading. All the shading. There's the alien. All right, here we go. There are aliens in our oceans. No, I don't know. All right, there's highlights. The highlight is a reflection. There's one right in here. There's one right in there, and then there's another one right under the eye, right under the eyelid on that side, right there. And it's really soft too. It's really soft, and then it goes to white, and then it goes dark. All this on the outside is dark, but there's a slight gradient, which means it doesn't go like a dark circle. It kind of, there's a slight, like it goes, it's soft. Like here it's sharp. Let's zoom in. There we go. So here you can see, like here on this edge is sharp, but then here I can soften up as it goes into that highlight, and then just darken all this stuff. So the edge is really, notice that edge is sharp, that top of that eyelid. Then here it's soft because it lightens up. It lightens up. The value changes slowly. Then it goes to the white. And a lot of times highlights aren't even totally white. There's a slight, I can slightly shade it, but that's a lesson for another day. When you're learning about value and values. There we go, there's the eye. See, there's a slight shade, get lighter before it gets to the white. And then here, if I wanted to get technical as well as my shading, I'm going to shade the inside part as it goes out. So the inside, and actually it's darker on the ends, then it goes lighter towards the middle. It gives it that rounded feeling. See, all this is just really observing. And here there's a shadow underneath. I won't get too much into this because then, but look, observe, see what's there. Start seeing, squint your eyes, see where the shading is and get all the shading. If you can't get the shading, that's okay. Just, I'm going to leave it for another day because then you can do the shading. See, that's a whole other practice we don't really do too much, because up above here, there's some shading. So, you know, and it's all really soft shading, just like I did with the highlight. There's a really soft shading, but right around up here, this top is dark. Right, this top part of the eye, right above this here, this area. It's, and then it just blends out. It blends out. If you get it, great. If you don't, it's okay. You got to know what level you're at and where you want to go before you get frustrated. You go, I give up. Before you give up, or take a break, but don't quit. Quitters don't win, and winners don't quit. And teamwork makes the dream work. And working together, helping each other out. Right. It's not about winning all the time. It's not about it. It's important thing is just practice and doing it and having fun. Sometimes it turns out, sometimes it doesn't. That's okay. See, I got some shading above it. I'm really looking at seeing the shading, like right in here, there's the shading right above this eyebrow, eyelid. There's no eyebrow. See, and it's really soft. It's really soft. I'm doing circle shading. All right, let's get this dark eye in here. I already have where my highlight's going to go. See, it's already kind of light, and then I can go darker around it. See, so it's soft. See, here it's right, jumps right to white against black. Here it's soft. Right, there's a soft, nice soft change. We got to foster creativity in kids. There was a kid drawing God in kindergarten. He's drawing God. And the teacher goes, but nobody knows what God looks like. And the kid goes, they will in a minute. All right. So here we go.
That was cute. I like that.
Right. So look at just this little bit of shading. I'm just slightly touching this, and it makes it look at just right on the edges, almost like putting on makeup. See, and it looks like it's the eye looks like it's, oh my gosh, I get and look at there's a little bit of a darkness underneath it, like right in here, starting to really do form. I mean, I can just do this little bit of form and start to make it look more like that realistic. This is the, I don't know, this is the icing, and it's fun too, but it's, yeah. I like this one. This one's simple. I can put a little more shadow, so I can push the shadows a little bit, shade the whole thing. Look at that alien. All right, all right. All right. Oh, okay. There we go. And there's texture on here too. So I mean, I would probably do all the shading first and then the texture on top. So I'm gonna put a light shade over the whole thing here, and then there's like little spots, and you can do the texture on top, or you can do it. I mean, the order sometimes doesn't matter. I like doing all my text, my shading first, getting the shading, and then the detail. Try to get that order first. Try to get that, go from general to specific, and details like more specific. There we go, little spots and dots. And then we got his shoulders, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Those angles really help. Oops, those angles really help. And, get the trapezium, and all this is really shaded in dark. I mean, all this is in here. I won't get into the muscles and all that stuff, but the head pops too if you go a little bit darker with your shading in here, so that head will pop. And there's other little, you know, right here, the sternocleidomastoid. Actually, yeah, that's where the sternum is. See the different, and that's anatomy. You got to learn anatomy if you want to draw more accurately. You don't have to, you can always copy and trace. That's what's more important is the story. That's what's more important. Get your story. There it is. All right, we're done with the alien. That's it. All right, all right. Let's go next. See what's next. Thank you for joining us. Here we go. Righty then. Close that one. All right, let's see what we're going to do next. Ooh, this one's really neat. I'm not going to do this one. I'll just talk about this one. This one has really nice angles. The angles here. This one, the angle here, this angle here. There's a little bit of curve to it, but the vanishing point is going to be right about back here. And all these lines need to go to that vanishing point. There's a little bit of a curve to it, but they kind of go to this vanishing point. That's up here, down here. So they kind of go to that point. Kind of forcing this a little bit. I think that one. Oh, he didn't. Yeah, he's just doing it. He changed it. But it's kind of going to that vanishing point. It is a cartoon. Let's see what vanishing point this one has. These should kind of be on the same. I mean, it's really a rough drawing. But this artist, Dr. Seuss, has an idea. The Dr. Seuss Museum, actually not a museum, they have some of his work. There's somebody yelling out there. And you can see, here we go, see all these lines go down to a vanishing point. Angles, this is why angles is important. And then
But
perspective.
it should be a little bit messy because this is from the Lorax after everything's gone to heck in a handbasket because the one slur used up everything. So
Yeah. Somebody's yelling out there. Yeah, it's such an important commentary on society too. I mean, consumerism and consuming, and yeah, there you go. And these angles here kind of going back and up. Oh, and these angles here too. Look at this right here. This comes down, up, and then this goes down. So you got a vanishing point that's really far on that window. So notice that this is the top. If I were to draw a line straight across, that's straight across. There it is, straight across. You can see that angle coming down. If I draw a line straight across, this angle here goes up. The one underneath. All right, there you go. Angles. And here's that ellipse right here. Notice that angle of that ellipse as well. All right, good job. Let's go on. I just wanted to point that out. You can draw it on your own.
oh, by the way, I wasn't making an ecological commentary by posting this. I was just trying to get some urban sketching.
It's all good. I'm the one making the ecological. Yeah, because yeah, we need to take care of Mother Earth. Yep. I think people worried about global warming and global weirding, I would call it. Climate changes. It's not just climate change. There's changes going on. It's about taking care of the planet as well, even if you don't believe in that. Some people, I don't know if this is the tiger people wanted, but I think we're gonna do the other one. I think let's jump to that other one. This one's really complex. I like that one. A lot of shading and stuff going on, but it's just breaking it down into parts. It's a puzzle, really nice puzzle. Shading is really interesting. Shapes. And that one's really interesting. Kind of goes with what we were doing last week. And this one's really complex. We've done faces and stuff. I don't know if we're going to get to this, but this is posted by somebody who's new. All right, here we go. We can try it. I can give it a go. I don't know. Let's see how much my battery's going. Here's talk about angles. All right, and this is really cute. Artist Cyril Vouilloz, better known as Relsi. Really cool. Yeah, that's really interesting stuff. This tiger. All right, I think that's what we're going to do next, that tiger. And then what are we going to do after that? I don't know. Oh, maybe we can jump back to something else. So we got that tiger. Now it's between, maybe the Lorax. The Lorax would be good. The dog would be good. The Lorax, the dog. Oh, and we can do the this one. We can do the I think we should do the maybe the Lorax, and then if we have time after that, those will be our last three. We'll do the Lorax, and this is just angles, and we'll do because this is really similar to the the lighthouse. We'll do last week's lighthouse. All right, so let's do this tiger. Whew. All right, this tiger's interesting, kind of complex. Let's see, I'm going to copy that image address. Let's go up in here. Paste it. Bang, there we go. Let's zoom in. Wow, that's small. There we go. All right, so we've got our head. Let's start off with the head. And same height, same width. There's our circle. See that this can be our unit now. See, here's our unit. We can use that to see how long the legs are. See, there's our leg. Our leg's more than, it's probably 1.5 times the size of the head. And back here, notice that, that's a, ooh, look at that way that circle fits in there perfectly. Right on top of that, and that curves around there, that circle. I like that. Let's draw another circle the same size. So from there, down to there. There we go. Let's see if it's the same size. Pretty close, probably a little bigger. That's good right there. So we got 2 circles. Let's get our third one. We start off with 3 squares for our car. Now we're doing 3 square circles for our tiger. There we go. There's that one. And if I put it right below, you can see where that kind of goes. And then this circle down here is probably half a circle. You put that, yeah, look at that, right in the middle. That's, so it's a circle and a half for that. All right, there we go. Oh, I can do that. No, let's do this. Let's keep it there. I got to divide this up. Cut this into fourths. Use the fourths. There we go. Half there, half here. You can see how it fits. There's our pizza. If I break that, see, this is the halfway point right there. See, it's below this half. You just got to see the fractions. Got to see the fractions. All right, that's it. Let's draw this. All right. We got 15 hardcore heroes. Let's draw this chat. There it is. There we go. 3 circles, more than 3 circles. Actually, see, this is more than a half up here for this tail. And notice the thickness and thinness of line. Notice how the line flows. All right, let's capture that and post it in the chat and get going on this. 3 circles, let's go. Look at the shading on that. Wow, alien. Pretty cool. All right, here we go. My student. That's cool. She says that a lot. All right, so we got our 3 circles. Let's get our 3 circles. Here we go. 3 circles. Bam, bam, bam. Practice, practice, practice. Everybody wants to learn how to draw, but it's the practice. If you don't practice, you don't improve. Oh, I know. See, I'm just doing my 3 circles. I know my tail's going to kind of come out way up here. It's okay. See, I'm doing my 3 circles. But I see how it's going to fit. I can make my circle smaller at this point. I can. That's all right. I'll just keep it around there. It fits. See, that 3rd circle. And we still need another half circle underneath that. You see, I can still move around and adjust to how it's going to fit best on my paper. If I need to make it bigger, I can make it bigger. If I need to drop it down, I can drop it all down. I can use my imagination and imagine this finished already. I can see this tiger here. Begin with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind. One of the 7 habits of highly effective people. Beginning with the end in mind. It's already done. We're just taking the steps now. Got our 3 circles. Break that in half. Break that in half. Our circles are lined up. 3 circles. Same height, same width. They should all be the same. They should all be the same or close enough. It doesn't have to be perfectly the same. I know mine are not.
I only see 2. Am I only supposed to see 2?
Nope. There's 3. Yeah, you're supposed to use your imagination. It's the greatest nation. Imagination. Yeah, so there's going to be a little bit more than half a circle, about a half circle that we need down here. So here's a half circle. That's how much space we need below it. And half circle, a little bit more than half circle for the tail up on top. I'm just going to squeeze it in. Bad habit, but it's all right. Well, that's good enough. That's good. If you need to make adjustments, start over, you can start over. But it's just practice. We're just practicing. You want to practice our drawing. All right, here we go. All right, so I can see the eyes. The eyes are the most important part. So we got to make sure we get our eyes right on this tiger. So let's zoom in. And if we find the center here, it's going to be on the inside of the center. So I can kind of see the center here of this line here. I'm looking at this line. I'm looking at this point, and not letting this curve distract me, and finding that center there. Same thing on this side, making sure it's kind of the same, finding the center, make sure that the distance here and here is the same. This will help line up and make our drawing symmetrical. And then I'll put the two little eyeballs. So they're going to be on the inside. There's going to be one right here. This drawing is actually really complex. Even though it's simple, it's really complex. A reason being they know the form, they know the structure, and they actually minimized it. They used very little of it. They're just suggesting a lot of the stuff. They don't even draw the body. It's there, but they're using the lines of the tiger to suggest it there. They're just using the lines. So there's my eyes, my two circles. So just on the inside of that center there. Now let's get let me zoom in a little more further. You can see that, how they're right there. I'm gonna there's a slight curve. This is the kind of like the eyelid. This is like almost even like an eyelash. So it kind of comes off of this circle off to the middle right there. And then it comes down like that. Curves up and down. There's a slight angle to it. There's a thickness and thinness to the line. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to do it. If you can get it, great. If not, that's okay. Because it does get thinner as it comes down. There's a slight angle. I guess it does taper. It kind of does that. Then the opposite side is the same. Kind of comes out and then curves up. You gotta make sure you get the eyes right. Once the eyes are right, everything else kind of just falls in place. That's everything else kind of falls in place. There we go. Now we're gonna do the bottom part. A little mascara, the little eye around it. See, around it like that. This one, I think I might have to bring it down a little bit. And if you don't practice drawing eyes, then you'll have trouble with this. Again, this is intermediate, a little more advanced. If you're taking it on, awesome. If you're drawing eyes before, that'll help. If you've never drawn eyes before, you might have trouble, but that's okay. It's part of the journey, that struggle. If it were easy, everybody'd be drawing because it's so fun. All right, there we go. There's our eyes. I don't know, that's good. It's good enough. All right, we're gonna start off with a little, what is that? Like a little X up on top. It's not an X. It's like a triangular thing up here. It reminds me of the little discs that used to go in the 45 records. Little spiral kind of thing, ninja star or whatever it is. But it's kind of like an eyebrow. So part of this line is part of the eyebrow, and then it goes up a line above it. I'll do that this time. Watch. So it kind of goes parallel with this eye. Kind of goes parallel with this eye. So this is the line. Again, this is like that triangular part. But if you notice, kind of goes parallel with this eye. It goes parallel with this eye, kind of going in that direction. Not exactly parallel, but in that kind of like echoes. It echoes the eye shape right in there. It's kind of like almost part of the eyelid. And then it goes up here, kind of like a frown. This part up here, that triangular part up there. See, that's how it fits. Boom, there it is. That's that. Now we find the middle of this circle, this side. See, that's the middle. And below that is our triangular nose shape right in there. Right below that middle. It looks like a little Star Trek emblem. It's a triangle with a little curved top. The curved sides too. The sides are slightly curved. It's not a perfect triangle. And they push down on it, push this out, get that triangle shape. And then we got the mouth right underneath that. It should be fitting inside our circle right at the bottom. Right in there. Right in there. So there's that mouth. Bam. We'll get this a little higher. Zoom out. I don't know. That's pretty good right there. And then there's the chin. Not by the hair, my chinny chin chin. All right. Looks like there's some teeth or something. I don't know. I'm not going to draw them. Yeah, there are some teeth. I wouldn't have done that. And that's okay. So we got the two cheeks kind of. Then we got the chin. Kind of comes out and around. Slight angles, but it's curved. Right in there. There's the chin. And then there's like two teeth in there. I'm not going to do the teeth. I don't like it. Simplify. All right, here we go. Two whiskers, one here, one there, and curving out, one whisker here. If anybody wants to share their drawings too, we can take a break. You can share your drawings. All right. Now around here's the wiggle stripes. There's 3 of them on each side, and then you got the ear up here too. You can see the ear is going to be right about here. See, it's kind of like fits in that below that circle space too, like right in here. Oops, in here, these ears. See, we have that top circle above it, and you can see those ears kind of like fit right in there. They snuggle inside that the 2 circles. They snuggle in between those 2 circles right in there. All right, let's get that. I think, yeah, we should start with that ear. Let's start with that ear shape. So it's just one line. It goes up and over, and the thickness of that line, that actually kind of helps because we can go back and fix it if we need to. It goes thick and then comes down and then curves out, comes back in and out like this as it comes around. And then it goes out a little bit, like right in there. So right in there, and as it comes up, it's thicker up here. Let's get it thicker so I can widen it up, thicken it up. Let's thicken up that line up here. Line on the tiger. The eye of the tiger is, there's one of the stripes. I'm going to aim for the middle stripe, and then I can do the 2 stripes around it. There's one stripe right in here, the middle one. Right in there. Oops, let's bring this up. The middle stripe is going to go here. I can actually just draw where the stripe's going to go. There's going to be one there. There's going to be one right in here. Make sure it fits. And then the other one is a small one just out here, which means I can move this over if I needed to. I can move that one over. All right, so let's do the middle one now. And it goes in and out. It goes in and out. It goes in, out, and around. See, it goes like that. There it is. In, out, and out. It's almost like the letter E. See, it looks like the letter E. There's the center, comes back out. There's a thickness to it. There's one. Ta-da! And then the other one, I don't know, that one's all over the place. But it kind of echoes this one. So it kind of curves. So do that E, I'll give you a second. But then here, this other E, this one curves right before it. Then it echoes, it curves in, then out. It kind of follows that curve. And then it curves down. See, yeah, it does echo. Let's see how it echoes right in there, how it fits. It's parallel, echoing that center line. Kind of like that. And then the last one, also kind of echoing that curve right in there. Bam. Just like that, halfway there. All right, let's do the other side, I guess. Yeah, let's do the other side. The other side echoes the first center stripe, and it's kind of like a backwards E with an extra little stripe on the top. So I'm looking at this, I can go across, bring it up in the middle, should try to make it symmetrical, same measurement, symmetrical, symmetry, metrics, measurement, same measurement, symmetrical on both sides. I can actually do it like circles too. I can see like this circle here, and then let's see, where is it? Goes in and then out. Yeah, like this. There it is. It's this curve. See that little curve, like a almost like a parenthesis. This curve here. That curve that way. Opposite curve here. Goes out, curves in. And out. Ooh, keep talking. So here now I'm going to go darker. Right in there. I like that. Out. All right, Ellen. Muted you. Feel free to unmute yourself if you want. You had a question. There we go. There's that line. All right, turning this lion into a tiger with lions. All right, here we go. This kind of echoes it as well as it comes up and over. Oh, I think I'm doing it too close. No, that's okay. What time is it? 8:22. We got 2 more drawings. We'll do the oh, 3 more drawings. See, we'll try to get through those 3 drawings. We've got the Lorax. We'll do that one next. And I'm going to draw it really quickly. Actually, I'm going to go faster with the Lorax. I'm going to go really fast with that Lorax. There's a lot of detailed stuff in that Lorax. And then I'm going to draw the lighthouse, Lorax, lighthouse, and then the little boy. I think if that was a suggestion, if you're still here, the person who requested it. If not, we're not gonna draw it. Gotta hang out. Gotta pay your dues. That's a tough one. Drawing people, drawing. That's the ultimate drawing challenge. Taking on. We see people and we go. You can recognize if things are off. If you see somebody with plastic surgery, you can tell those things are just off by centimeters. All right, here we go. So we got some stripes up on top. We've got the main stripe. So it's coming off the middle. It's a little bit on a curve right in here. Do this line first. The center line. Oh, let's bring it down so you can see what I'm doing. Right there. That's that center line. Should we zoom out? No, that's good. Have our center line. Then let's do our other center line right on top of that. Coming around here. Looks like an airplane. There's that one. And then we got another one right in here. Looks like an airplane. There's the tail. All right. Oh, that's good enough. Wham. Bam, bam. Funny how it seems. 8:30. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, because form is next. Drawing form. Seeing that sphere and drawing cubes like this one. This is a good exercise, drawing cubes, and see how the angles change as it moves, as it turns, and all these angles are changing as I spin it. All right. All right. Let's get to this lion. Tiger. All right, so we've got this Y shape that goes right underneath it. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do the rest just really quick. There's the thickness of line. There's a lot to describe, really. I'm just going to do it as it curves in, curves out, goes down. See this whole foot right in here. It's really nice how it curves. Really, it's putting this foot coming forward. See this as it curves. Wow, as it comes up. And then we got this other one, other shape in here also, but it's kind of like a Y shape. And it's this is like a tapered tail. I call this a tapered tail. There's a tapered tail right in there. See, you learn how to draw them, you learn to see them and say, oh, it's a tapered tail. The more you draw stuff, the more you see, like, oh, I've seen this before. I've drawn this before. It's not a big deal. But when you first draw stuff, when you first do stuff, it's hard. Then later, it's easy. It's like, oh, okay, there's that. There's this. Like I didn't make enough space there, but it's okay. This bottom foot that's really supposed to be important right here, right in here. This foot, you want to get that shape. See that Y? That this foot comes out in here and kind of comes around in here. Well, trying to capture that form really simply with just a simple line right in here. See, captures that form as he's drawing this line. He's seeing this shape in here. So you're drawing this line as it comes around, seeing that shape. And then here too, there's these little diamond shapes. There's 4 of them for the paw. I can find the center and then do 2 on one side and 2 on the other side. That's one way to do it. Dividing it up. See, I find the center. Then I'm going to put one little triangle here. See, it's a triangle with a claw on it. There it is. There's one. Another little triangle over here with a claw on the other side. Oh, like a diamond shape. All right, here we go. There we go. All right, there's that diamond shape. All right, here's the one more. Shine bright like a diamond. There it is. There you go. Look at that paw. Bam. There's a stripe right in here. And it does break up. This line does break up. And it doesn't go in this direction. I'm going to do it. I'm getting late. I'm getting a little tired. Oh, we'll see what I can do. There's that line there. And then this other line up in here. As it comes up and around. Wraps. Around the form there. There's that one. And this is the back of the body. Now the back of the body, the artist knows that the body is like this, and this is the pelvis that you can see back here, right? The artist knows the anatomy and the way it curves and making it, even though it's symmetrical, it kind of goes this way and then comes this way. Really nice design. Oops, let's zoom out. But yeah, here's the pelvis right in there, that body part. And then the tail just kind of like curves around that circle. See, and attaches itself right in there to the pelvis. Right in there. See, that's the structure that's in there. Up on that circle, that top circle. All right, so here we go. Let's do this. Which one first? Let's just do this one. This is on top of that pelvis or that body part. This one line. That's one line right there, curving around it. Then you have this other one, a little M shape on that circle back there. It curves around, goes in, out, and around, right in there like that. Bam. There's a thickness to it. It goes thin, thick. Notice the line quality. Thin, thick, thin again, and then thick again. Compare and contrast, that would be good. Look at the lines and get them a little more accurate than I am. I'm just throwing them in there. Down to 12. Hardcore heroes. Here we go. Let's get these birds in there. They look like birds. All right, so it's just all the way back. There's one bird right in here. Just put it in and then do the thickness. See, I'm just doing that. Then I do the thickness. One side's a little bit longer. That is right there. Then the next one, watch my spacing. And then next one, that's 2. Actually, this one should be thicker. The third one, yeah, it should be really thick. Let's see. Let's go a little bit thicker. Oh, I'm not following it. This one I'll make thicker. Kind of look like that other one. I'm adding an extra one. It's this thick. But as long as it's with the form, it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to compare it this close. Hey, you have an extra stripe. It's just doing it. See, all these other ones are like almost on top of each other. That one, and then the next one. Right on top. I'm trying to shoot back to my tail over here on this other side. I'm going up a little too far. It's okay. Trying to get back on track. My guidelines, just a guide, but I'm shooting for it as I wrap around one little line and then another little line. Yeah, I see it's going to go off my page like that. But get that flow. What's important is try to get that flow. That's more important. Get that flow in there. That's it. All right, we're done with this one. I'm done anyways. All right, there it is. Rawr, that lion, that tiger. Oh, that's as far as, well, I can move my camera. There we go. There's that tiger. All right. Any questions? Put them in the chat. Please put them in the chat. Good night. You're welcome, Constanza. And that is 8:34. Oh, yeah. This is 8:32. Oh, that was 3 minutes ago. All right, all right. All right, let's do this. So we're going to draw this one really quick. So see if you can stay. See, this is going to be a challenge. We're going to draw this really quick. I'm going to draw this really fast. So let's see. This one's going to be really fast. I'm going to sketch this one really quick. So that's the Lorax. We'll get to the Lorax. Those letters are really cool. These angles are really cool on this. You have a lot of horizontals. Just got to notice where things, how they relate to each other. A lot of detail. Let's do the Lorax, and then maybe this kid. I don't know. I'll probably draw it really quick. I don't know if Jennifer's here. She's still here. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. No, I think she's gone. Yeah, she's gone. All right, so it just might be the. Oh, that one's a nice one too. I like this Lorax. For some reason, this Lorax is calling me. I'm going to do it really fast. And Constanza, she just left. She uploaded that one. All right, let's do this. All right, here we go. Should I just draw it really quick? Well, let's see. I'll break it down, because I can do it just drawing it, but I break it down in my head. So we see the circle. It's more than a circle. This is actually, he's got form here. It's really, there's that circle shape. It's a sphere. It's really a sphere. He understands form. There's that. And then the body is really big compared to that. I can break that into halves. And into fourths. As you can see, everything, all the eyes and stuff is in that top fourth. This top quarter. Oops, wait, what happened to that line? Oops. Oh, there it is. What's happening? Oh, I did bring it up. Okay, there it is. You can see and how one eye is a little bigger, one's a little smaller. That nose, it's a slight angle. There's 2 circles in here too. I mean, this whole mustache is kind of like made up of 2. If you can see that one, and this is more like an oval shape right in there. That, something like that. If I move it over. So you got to see the form of it. See the big shape. Don't let all the detail confuse you. If you can see the big shape, then you can see the detail. Right. Let's get these angles and then let's get drawing. I'm going to draw this really fast. There's a lot of detail, so I mean, don't get too caught up. As suggested by Ellen. Here we go. Yep. We're gonna notice these angles, and there's a lot of structure underneath as far as the legs. You can see the knee here, the bend in it. There's a bend in it here, slight bend. And this curves out like an S curve right in there. And the triangular, and then a tapered tail for the feet. All right, that's good. Let's do this. I'm gonna draw it really quick, so see if you can stay on top of it. I'm gonna do this one really fast. Let's just do it really quick. So get your head start. I'm going to try to screenshot it and then do it. Let's see, here we go. Ooh, hello, I'm in Minnesota for a few days before flying over to London. Ooh, nice. Oh, that's right. With my son, so I decided to join for some sketching. I can't help myself. That's good. Some fun before the fun. There we go. That's awesome. That's right. Off to London. London's calling. All right, here we go. Let's do this really quick. All right, let's start off with my circle. Stop sharing. Bam, bam. Let's see, make sure it went to everybody. Yep, there it is. All right, so I didn't see, I'm just gonna draw really quick. There's a lot to it. It's just, I'm gonna scribble it in. So, you know, feel free to scribble. It's just sketch. You don't have to, you know, shoot for accuracy. There's my circle, then how it relates to it. There's another circle. Actually, let's break that circle into fourths. That'll help. So get that circle, break it into fourths. And then I have this angle back here. This body, whole body kind of comes back at this angle. There's two circles. And then this whole body kind of comes down like almost like an ice cream cone. Uh-huh. And Francois, question?
Oh, so sorry.
It's okay.
I muted myself.
I'll
talking.
It's all right, good. And then these angles here, this is what I'm shooting for. When I see these angles here, I try to get that mass of this body here. See, I see the head, and then I see this mass of the body. But with these two angles, it really helps kind of like mass it in. And then you've got the two legs down here. I'm trying to see the distance, and I can see the hand right in here. I can see a hand. I didn't block that out, but I can already kind of like see it without blocking it in. And the arm comes out and then in on that body. See, I'm just doing it really quick, really quick. See, it's like tying your shoe. Just telling somebody how to tie your shoe and then just tying your shoe. You just do it automatically without thinking, you just do it. So there's going to be a circle in here, and then a oval in here. This is for that oval. And then the nose and all this face stuff goes in there. That's the important stuff. Everything else can be just a quick sketch. Let's see, I'm just going to block in the feet. They're like little triangles that are going to go here. Make sure kind of solid. There's a slight angle on this one. Boom, there is that foot. See, it's all blocked in. That's it. That's everything. That's kind of like the spacing and how it's going to fit. I can kind of see that. This is the important part right in here. This fourth of, I'm going to zoom in that quadrant of that face. Start off with the nose right in here, a slight angle, like right in the middle of that slice of pizza, like a piece of olive or something there. There's that oval, slight angle. And then I'm going to color the inside. It's got a highlight on the bottom. There's the nose. Fits in there just like that. I'm seeing how big it is. So probably a third of the size of that. Probably a little bit less. And we've got one eye right in here. And then the other eye over here, bigger, higher, stronger, faster. Right in there. There's that eye. See the two eyes and how they relate to each other, and those three right in there, just like that. Bam. Those are the big shapes. That's it. I like the way it's looking and where it's at. And that's it. So let's just do this real quick. Bam. Bam. And the eye kind of goes out this way. There's a slight, all these little things, slight eyelid, eyelash, that's it, eyelash. A little eyelash on the eyelid right in here. There's that oval. See, there's axis lines. I can see the axis lines on these ovals. Yeah, I'm going. I can speed it up. I can draw faster. And this one's bigger. This eye's bigger because it's closer. There, my eyes. I'm happy with those eyes. The top of the head. right around. And oh, it's all furry. It's got some eyelashes or eyebrows that can come up here. Right in there. Big eyelashes. There we go. Watch the angles. There it is. As it comes around here, I'm gonna go ahead and do this big old mustache that he has. This is a big old mustache. I can see the major parts. There's like a major triangle right in here. That one, and then everything else just kind of comes around. I can shoot for accuracy, but it's really just along this whole thing here. Kind of opens up. There's a mouth in here. I'm just getting the feel of it. I mean, I can get it more accurate, but I'm just doing it really quick and just getting the feel of kind of where it goes. See these big triangles. And there's 1, 2, maybe 3 right in there. I'm not shooting for exactness. I'm just getting the feel of it. There it is. See, there it is. Then there's a mouth inside. I think there's a mouth inside. Get that mouth in there. Oh, yeah, there it is. There's a slight mouth. That shape like that. And then there we go. That's it. That's it. And then here we go. All right. There's a thickness of line up here. We'll notice the thickness of line actually goes thick and then it goes thin as it comes down this way. Oops, on top of the forehead. Yeah, look at that face. A face only a mother can love. And then you see this is like a 3/4 view. That's why you're getting this whole side on this side. And that mustache sticks out. And then this comes in. And then the arm is attached right in here. And I'm just scribbling it in, but I understand the form. So this hand kind of just goes over. See? And I need to thicken it up. So I'm going to bring that down. There's that elbow. I'm trying to capture that form. See that whole arm. Swings out, swings in. There's like this letter M in here. There's like an M. See that M? It's just, and then just scribble it all in. Oh, right in there. And then there's a finger or a thumb that sticks out right in there. Bam. Bam. Told you it was quick. And all this detail is what takes so long, but it's all just scribbling. I'm just getting the feel of it. And there's just all the shading and stuff underneath. Let's see. Let's see. Here we go. Let's get that other arm in there. This is kind of his hand. You can almost see this finger, the shape of his hand here. And it's got all these little hairs and stuff. It's just scribbling it. Scribble, scribble. I know, make it look easy, but it's just years of practice. And that's what it is. Practice, practice, practice. You're just doing it. Just do it. Just do it. Scribble, see? Trying to capture that thickness of that arm as it kind of rotates, comes around, and then all this scribbling in the body. All this just, if you look at it, that's what it is. It's all just scribbling. He's like really loose with his stuff. Bam. And this leg, a little bit of a knee, a little bit of a turn, twist, taperness. There's a taper. And just scribble it all in. Scribble some hairs on. Same thing with this back one. Angle, angle. See, there's the knee. There's the structure underneath. I can see it. This leg, this thigh. It's there. I've drawn anatomy before. That helps. And then this taperedness. There it is. All right. Lorax is done. Bam. That was pretty quick. I think so. And we can shade it. Practice your shading. Your line work. Hatching. So make the hand pop by shading behind it. Shade all this. Make the eyes pop a little. Make the mustache pop a little just by adding a little bit of a shade to it right there. See that mustache pops. Bam. All right. All right, all right. What did I say was next? The lighthouse, and then, all right, let's do this. All right, oof, the lighthouse, 3 weeks in the making. Minnesota. There we go. Let's see, share my screen. Bam. The lighthouse was previous drawing, so we gotta find lighthouse and then, oh, let's do this first. So if we make it to this kid. Oh, but she's not here anymore. So it's just the lighthouse. I guess we'll end it with the lighthouse at 8:46. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do this kid here. Bubbles. Oh, Nels. All right, next time. Post it again. Post it again. Post it again. All right, so here we go. Let's go to last week. Actually, I will go to the people.
I don't know. I don't remember who wanted the lighthouse, but I don't think she's here today.
Oh, so should we skip it?
Oh,
I thought you wanted it. Oh, somebody
no,
wanted.
I hardly ever post something that I want. I just post a variety.
Okay. You want it all.
Whoops.
All right. All right, here we go.
Well,
We'll end with the
what
lighthouse.
I'm trying to say is do what you want.
Ah, thank you. Do what you want. Do what you want. All right, here we go. Let's look at events, and then let's look at past events. I think it was 2 weeks ago. Events, past events. There we go. 2 weeks ago. Bam.
2 weeks ago, I posted 2 lighthouses, and 1 week ago, I posted a different lighthouse because someone expressed interest in the lighthouses.
Yeah, I'll do it. I think it was here. If you can find it, I don't know. There was one that I liked. I can't remember which one it was. Oh, look at there's the Escher. Yeah, look at the angles on this thing. This is insane. All these angles. I can probably try to find the vanishing point, but they look almost parallel. All these lines. Well, we did draw the poor dog. Oh, that one we drew. Oh, somebody posted. Nice. Oh, look at James. Awesome. Oh, can I put a heart? Oh, awesome. Awesome. Man. Cool. I don't go back. Oh, there it is. Please enter a comment. I did. Oh, that was awesome. Oh, it's not here. Well, but we did see a drawing I didn't see before. That's cool. All right, let's see. I don't go back, so I don't see sometimes. You got to post them. If you're going to post us something you want us to see, then go post ahead. If not, that's fine. You can post in the old. They haven't told us anything. They haven't told us, you guys are out of memory. You can't post any more pictures. We're just posting pictures. I don't know how much we're taking up a lot of their server space. All right, let's see.
Just posted 2 lighthouses, but I couldn't find I haven't found the original 2.
Oh, the original 2. Did you say last week or the week before? Because I think I just looked the week before.
I think I posted last week's. I think I still had that in my photos and just pulled that one up. And then I posted another one that I don't think I had posted before. But the red, well, I call it red and black one that I liked. Don't know what. I've got to still have that. I wouldn't have deleted it.
Huh. I don't know. There was one that I liked. I don't remember which one it was. Let's see. Were we here? Oh, I just did that one. What is this? What day is this? It's the 17th, August 17th. Oh, May. August 3rd, 10th. Let's go with 10th. Let's see. There we go. I think it's in here. Oh, I remember that one. Oh, that was a good one. That's a good one. Oh, that's cute. Oh, that one. Oh, we didn't draw that one. That's I tried like some of these I drew in my mind. I'm like, okay, this is how I would do it. This is how I would do it. Ah, there, I like that one. All right, we'll draw this lighthouse. I don't know, there was water. I was going to add something to it. But Cape Blanco Lighthouse, Southern Oregon. All right, so this one, a lot of angles, a lot of symmetry. Let's break it down and we'll do this just for the heck of it. So symmetry first. Ooh, wrong tool. Let's see, we got to get the right tools. That one. Center, line of symmetry right in there. It's actually, and it's actually wider on this side, even though that's the middle. It's kind of interesting. There's a slight angle to it. Slight angle. It comes out. And then here, this is where ratios really come in, right? Seeing this is almost, there's a curve up there. But this is almost like a square. Ooh, right in there. That's a rectangle. Square, the perfect square would be right in there. There's the perfect square. Right in there. And then what else? Ooh. There's angles. All right, let's see. How can we break this down? Let's do this. Let's put a square down here and use that as our unit. Because we need a unit. You always need a unit. And to see right here, there's our unit. There's our square. This width, that'll give us the height of this. It's about 3 times as high as it is wide. See this one unit here, and then you can see this other square here. See that? There's our square. There's our square. And then it starts coming out, probably half. Yep, half. 1.5. See, that's the ratios. Those are the ratios. About, give or less. You can see it's wider down here. But I'm just using that top half. See, little squares there. I can see that one there, that one there, 3. So you got 3. And I'll just do this in here, and then that 1.5. But if I just leave this right here, that's my main unit that I'm using for my reference, for my ratios, for my proportions. That's that square right there. All right, let's do this. Let's put it in the chat. Call it a night. Thank you for joining us. We'll do this one real quick. Bam. Capture. Put it in there. There we go. Woo-hoo. So again, we're going to be drawing next week, and then the week after, we're taking a break. We'll probably be taking a break once a month, just because we got to do other stuff. We got to get a life. All right, let's get our squares. We'll start off with one square right in here. I already got my square. See, I'm just going to sketch out my squares. See, here's one square, same height, same width. Another square right next to it. That's going to be the little house part, and then we got half a square on that side. See, it's going to fit right in here. Then we got another square above it, and then another square above it, and 3 squares. 3 squares, and you're out. So something like that. And there's a slight, I guess, our center line is off center right in there. And then, oops, there we go. Get it on our, there we go. And then a slight angle. It's just a slight angle. It's really slight. It's really slight. Sometimes people exaggerate, but yeah, it's just a slight angle. Really slight. We're going to add a little bit of, from that square, we have to add a little bit to that bottom part. There we go. There we go. We'll sketch it all in. And we have form here. It's not just shapes. This is form. So this is next level stuff. This is really next level stuff. So we're talking next level. You have to understand form. What this is a cylinder. All right. So we have a cylinder here in this top half where our square is. Our square is going to be up in here. But let's get that cylinder. I'm going to start from the top in here. See that oval shape? That's that oval shape, right? You have that oval shape, and it's pretty wide. It's wider here. So our ratio is a little bit wider compared to the length. So if you're doing it too thin, or if you're doing it, you know, this is, you got to notice how wide it is. So it is a little bit wider. So I'm widening it up. Starting off with that oval shape right at the top of our thing here. All right. And I can shade it all in. I'm just going to shade that oval in. Just lightly. There it is, solid oval. Because then on top of that is our, on top of that, oh, stop sharing. Nobody said anything. All right. On top of that, I just reposted lighthouses and waves. Oh, thanks. All right, we're just drawing already. Let's get. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit and get to this top. All right, so here's my oval, but on top of that is this like little ledging part. So I'm gonna go up with these angles like this little hat, kind of like a little hat right there. It goes out, you see, but we're keeping this oval part right in there, that oval part, and that top of that oval. And we're gonna echo that top of that oval right out there. Oops, right out there. Bring that up a little bit. There we go. It's kind of like a little skirt, a little, I don't know what that part of that oval. And then I'm going to shade that in darker. It's going to be the darkest part of this whole lighthouse. We're looking up into the cylinder because it's transparent. You can see the backside right in there. And then this was that top part. And then there's a sphere or half a sphere up on top, a little ball. That sphere of that lighthouse up on top. Let's see, trying to draw that ball right in there. And if I imagine that ball coming down, there it is. There's that ball. Practice drawing circles. Then I would probably even shade it, not even flat, but I can shade it as we're going along. It wouldn't be flat. It goes darker on the sides as you're doing a sphere. Then we have a little, like a little cylinder, but it kind of just only see the top part, that top part. Not cylinder, oval. Right in there, just that oval part. And that goes onto a ball that's on top. And that goes to a point and something like that. Attach it. And it's a sphere, and actually it goes pretty dark. Right in there, I'm gonna shade the whole thing. This is form. This is form. This is form. I have to understand form. It looks, it's complex, but I kind of broke it down really quick. But it's in there like that. Bam, there's the top. All right, all right. Let's see. 902. Finish this up. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and right in here, we're going to go ahead and do the window parts of the lighthouse. There is a center part. Let's go ahead and zoom in. I kind of broke it into parts already. There's the center part right in here, kind of like that, right in there. It's holding up that whole glass thing. And still down here, we still have that oval. We're still looking up at this. So I can see, like, here's that kind of light thing in here. I don't know, I can scribble it in, but it's kind of like right in here. That's where the light part is. Oh, there's a man right here. There's a man. There's a man right in here. He's right there. Oh, interesting. Didn't see him. There's a man. And then another line in here. Another line over here. Those four lines. Four lines. The man in there. And then just all these shapes and forms can be scribbled in. I mean, there's a lot of detail. There's a railing and stuff. Now, see this part of that top part of that circle, oval, this oval part, this top part is the same oval echoes down here. You need to curve that part right in here. And if you need to draw it in, and we're just using the top part, but we're going a little bit wider than that is right there. Bring that down. We're just using that little top part right in there. Bam. It's that top part. Picking it up a little bit. Bring this, connect it all up. And then, there's all this other detail. There's actually like a little rail That goes on the outside. And that's an oval shape too. An oval shape in there. Let's kind of sketch it in. Kind of goes all the way around. You can kind of see it kind of go all the way around in there. And then I don't know. There's another one. Ooh, there's another oval shape in here. This oval shape. See, it's all echoing. It's all echoing that same curve. We're looking up at it. This one right there. Boom, right in there. All right, that's good. And everything else below it is solid. Solid. So you can kind of see through here. This is glass, what's happening in there. But here, this is the solid part is underneath. So we're done with the glass part, the top part. Let's make this solid part here. Those of you who are here, this is pretty challenging. It's fun though. I think this is a fun one. Too bad it took so long to get here. But here we go. So here we go. See these curves. This is form. This is more advanced. This is intermediate. You got to study your forms. Got to practice drawing those forms. This is what helps. This tapers out. Tapers out. Let's get that detail. Let's get this big shape. So this is that whole big part. This bottom part also curving out. And then you've got like one window here. And then another window over here. With all the detail, but I'm seeing the big shapes. I'm not worried about the detail. I'm just trying to get where everything kind of goes. And then probably have to bring it down more. I probably made it wider than I needed to up here. So it's affecting everything else. So I'm probably going to have to make it in proportion. I'm going to have to bring everything down. I probably did make it a little bigger, a little bit wider. So I'm looking at this now, I'm seeing this should probably go a little bit lower just because of how wide it is. So this changes my proportions and changes everything. I can just go wider with it down here, go bigger, bring this down. So you gotta be able to adjust and make those changes on the fly, or your things come out of proportion, and it's okay. It's not a big deal, but yeah, I notice it. There's going to be one other window right in here, right about there. This kind of curves out, is attached to the lighthouse, and then this goes straight across, pretty straight across. And then this here, and I'm noticing the ratio here. Oh yeah, right there. This is that window, that whole side of that with two windows, 1, 2, right about there, scribbled in, locking it in, getting this angle, and I can stop right here. Actually, I don't have to, get all the detail. You don't have to always get all the detail. Doing a sketch. Those angles, this angle here. Ooh, this goes longer. Bring this down. Door right in there. And I'm going kind of light. I can go darker. I'm going light on the lighthouse. I can go darker. Steps right in here. Oops. Blocking it all in. Here's her hill. It's on the hill. Right up in here. Right over here. The shrubs. These bushes or trees. I can easily just with the side of my pencil scribble them in. Try to get the shape of them. Try to get the feel of them. All this kind of like that's all it is scribbling. Look at this. I'm just scribbling these shrubs and trees, the direction of the angles. I'm trying to that mass that's in here. Like going out that way and then some branch out that way. Scribble it all in, shade it. Look at that. Bam. Impressive. But it's just scribbles. I just captured the shape, the form. And that's it. Bam. All right. I'm going to go back up and get some of this detail now. Get this window. In here, go darker. I can start putting it in. It's a lot of little detail I kind of missed. Right in here, there's a ridge. But I can see where it goes. These like up and downs. I can just put them in like little circles. See, I don't have to put it exactly. I can just put like little circles. They're like little shapes in there. they are like little squares, and I can bring that around like that. See, bam. Little shortcut. Get that window. Oh, this should be up a little higher. But that curve, notice that curve goes all the way, it would go all the way around until it went to eye level, it would straighten out. All right, let's see. There's this window here. It goes onto this dark part, and actually it goes a little bit wider. Right in here. Comes down to that, resting on it. And then curves down. There we go. Capture that form. And it's shaded on one side. If you look carefully, you can see it's shaded on one side. This really will make it, give it some more form, make it look more solid. And if you understand cylinders, there we go. And here we go. Let's do this window. This window actually here is kind of really interesting. It has the two sides like this. This is the opening, and that you can see a little bit of the inside, this side that goes right here. So there's three lines that go up like that, and then the top curves around it like that, and it goes like that. There we go. See, like shade all this in, and then this is just the side. This can be shaded slightly, but this inside is dark, and then there's a bottom, a little ledge or whatever this keystone little thing is. Bam. All right. The rooftop should be shaded. It's red. And it should, let's see, there's some lines on it. So I can try to get those lines on there. Just going across, a little bit of spacing. Right, here we go. There we go. Picking this up. There's a lot going on here with angles and stuff. I'm not describing it. I'm just doing it. So just do it. Do the best you can. Observe, see, draw, practice. Know where your challenges are. If you're the shapes, okay, practice drawing shapes. That's where you're at. If you're ready for form, this is it. This is form. Practice drawing form. Then you can, okay, so this is what a lighthouse is. A lighthouse is just a box and a cylinder. And then you can move this around. You know, you can move this around. You can actually make it look like we're looking down on it, and you know, use, you know, your powers of imagination and understanding of shape and form. Get it to move around and do different things. You're not just copying anymore. You're understanding the structure.
Eladio,
Yes.
what's the difference between a shape and a form?
Shape is flat. A shape is flat. So you have a square, circle, and a triangle. Square, circle, and a triangle are the three basic shapes. They're flat. Then you have 5 basic forms, and the forms are 3-dimensional. Form is this is the next level. So a circle becomes a sphere or a ball, and that's 3-dimensional, right? That, and the light hits it and all kinds of stuff. And then you have the square becomes a cube. You have a cube, and it's not just a square, but it's a cube, and that's a form. It's 3-dimensional, and it changes and it moves. This is the next level because it's a form, but once you understand it, you can understand the angles and how to draw this. Then you can, you know, like here, this house, it's just a cube. You can see that form, not just the shapes, right? So it's a form, and that's like a, you know, the other basic forms are you have your pyramids and your cylinder. That's a cylinder here. So cylinder is just like a cylinder, like a can, and it's a tapered cylinder here. See, I can really quickly made a cylinder here out of this piece of clay. A little cylinder. And the light, understanding how light hits it and stuff like that. Really, this is the next level of understanding. Inform, intermediate to advanced drawing.
Thank you, Eladio.
Oh, you're welcome. That's it. So the 5 basic forms, you have your cylinder, cube, pyramid, and you got to practice drawing them. Look for them online. Look for form drawings, cube, cylinder, pyramid, cone, which is similar to a cylinder. You just pinch one side like that. And then the sphere. Those are the 5 basic forms. 5 basic forms. The cube is all about the angles. Gotta get those angles. Look at the angles. And that's where you're starting to get into perspective too, and understanding space and how things are 3-dimensional. See, that's the next level. Next level. Many of you are ready for that. I know we just do all this basic drawing, the simple stuff. I want to try to get all my simple stuff out and then really start doing my intermediate and stuff onto videos, and that's it. That'll be end of these free classes. And I can get on with my life. No, I'm just kidding. I can I don't know. That sounded terrible. I love drawing. I want to share it with everybody. I want to share it. I want to share how I draw. So it's everybody you can learn to draw. I mean, anybody can do this. You see how I broke this down. Look at how, I mean, look at this. This looks insane. Again, like, oh my God, this looks hard, but it's not. It's just shapes and seeing the relationships and lights and darks, and then understanding form. Shading. But there's a lot to understand and do. There's a lot of skills and a lot of knowledge. And that's anything comes down to knowledge and skills. Everything comes down to knowledge and skills. What do you know? What can you do? What do you know? What can you do? Can you explain it? Can you simplify it? How well do you know it? There it is. There's our lighthouse. Show me the light, the direction. That's it for tonight. Thank you for joining us. If you have questions and need help, here's just reposted Lighthouses and Waves. Oh, yes. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Leo.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Eladio. So next week, do we have class or we
Yes.
don't have class?
Yes, we do have class next week, but the week after that, we do not. I will be. I already kind of canceled the class, so you really can't even sign up for it. You're welcome, Z. Thank you for joining us. All
So
right.
much. Bye bye. See you next week.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. No shutdowns.